prophet unto the nation. Back at y'all. Praises to the Most High Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Mashiach Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh, double honors to the apostles, the bishops and preachers out here pushing and preaching truth, peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. I'm doing a reaction to this video that was posted by GMS KC Prophets 3. He tagged the video as "The Day of the Black Woman Pride and Arrogance Are Numbered." I guess he's doing a reaction to Arrows of In the Nation 1442. You in trouble, Eve. Eve speaking directly to the so-called black woman. Okay, let me say this: fair use to GMS KC Prophets 3. Now, I haven't watched this video. It's the Shabbat, so I saw this title. I say I might well just play it, watch it with y'all, and do my reaction and chop it up and chime in. That's the most I see fit. But let's play this again. GMS KC Prophets 3. Fair use.
When's your due date?
Right now.
Is your due date 11?
What?
How many times have you been pregnant?
3.
This is your third pregnancy? You
Yes.
have 2 babies
It's
at
in
home?
my ass.
You have 2 babies at home? Who's your doctor?
Lang is her doctor. Y'all treat all your patients like this, or just the black ones?
I'm just thinking the same thing. This is Dallas Regional Medical Hospital, Mesquite, Texas. It says her son was born 12 minutes later. Shit crazy. This woman had her in the waiter area room more than 30 minutes. The delivery was awful. Listen here, man. You so-called black man, you so-called black woman. Let me say this. There's more important things in this life as it pertains to this life than being an NBA basketball star, an NFL football star, or being an actor, going the celebrity right, or being in the music industry. There's more important things in this life than that. And what I mean by that is this: we need to start teaching our children to, and not only teach them, encourage them to go into the medical field. You hear me? When you see these type of instances, these type of situations, it ought to make you encumber upon this reality. It's a shame that over here in the land of captivity, and I do know that it's going to be hard, we'll find ourselves dealing with certain situations or being in a conundrum trying to start, different medical offices and whatnot, but it can be done. I mean, they even got a reality show with the ladies who are doctors and being able to help our people to a certain extent, so to speak. But yeah, we need to start encouraging our kids to go into the medical field. So to the best of our ability, we won't have to experience this type of treatment, right? When you look at the statistics, it's predominantly white people that's going into the medical field to be doctors, and following behind them is Asians. I want you to think about that. And whenever you going to them in the medical field and to expect righteous or fair treatment, then you got another thing coming. And it's just not this woman right here that's dealing with it. It's many people that's dealing with this type of treatment all across this land of captivity. All across. But if we have more of our children, and if we as parents was pushing more of our children to go into the medical field, to be doctors, to be, nurses, to be the doctor of anesthesia and all that type of stuff, then we would be able to limit this to the best of our ability. It used to be a time in the scriptures when we took this serious. Matter of fact, let me grab a scripture. We'll come back to the video. Let me go here to, let me see. Listen, it says right here. I start at verse 13, Exodus chapter 1. And the Egyptian made the children of Israel to serve with rigor, and they made their life bitter with hard bondage. So, I mean, we still in bondage right now here in the land of captivity, in mortar, in brick, in their manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor. And the king of Egypt spoke to the Hebrew midwives. You see that? The Hebrew midwives. I want you to pay attention to that. The Hebrew midwives. Like I said, it used to be a time where our people took serious in being in the medical field. And because of that, we are no longer taking it serious. We more concerned with, reality TV. We more concerned with entertainment. We more concerned with being athletes. And that put us further away from the more important aspects of life. And when we are not fulfilling the more important aspects of life, our people have to experience this type of treatment. She was in this sitting room. She was in this waiting room for 30 minutes. And after she got out of the waiting room for 30 minutes, dealing with all these contractions and whatnot, and tell her how it would have turned out for her. And somebody posted this woman, the delivery went on and it was awful. So 12 minutes later, after she got out of this waiting room, she had the baby. And it's sad. But let's play some more of this.
Beverly's personality vision for you. Last name is Jones. She's G3B2. Not sure.
And let me say this before I go on, because I got to get the flip side of this reality. You sisters, this is very important why you need to straighten up your attitude. This is very important why you need to get over here in the truth so that you don't find yourself dealing with this. Even the scripture said when a man way please the Most High, he make even his enemies to be at peace with him. You see this lady right here? She on the phone carrying on, not really having no concern or care about what this woman right here is dealing with all this pain and contractions that she's dealing with, getting ready to deliver baby. She over here all nonchalant. This is your enemy. This woman right here with this red hair is your enemy. Okay? But when your way pleased the Most High, look how she dressed. Okay? And she probably was, I ain't gonna too much talk about her dressing. Let me take that back because she probably was at home relaxing and she probably had to swiftly get up and get rushed to the hospital. So I take that back. I'm not gonna talk about the dressing. But for the most part, even when people is not pregnant, this is how they come outside, showing all these dyes and all that. Women, you got to straighten yourself up. Huh? And you wonder why the Most High is bringing judgment down on a lot of our sisters and allowing them to get into these type of situations. A woman that's walking in righteousness. Now, don't misunderstand me. We still, even though we keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability over here in the land of captivity, that don't mean you're not going to have to deal with oppression from your enemy. But the Most High often step in. Why? He has to honor his word. When he said, when a man way please him, he'll make even his enemies to be, he means that. Okay? But this is sad. This is crazy.
Her due date
Just
is
said it was the 10th.
Her due date's 10.
she got 3 pregnancies, 2 babies at home.
I know a lot of times y'all get mad at me. Let the video play. Let the video play, man. You go do your own videos, okay? Now, I have to stop it right here. Now, the mother of this young lady, she is too calm in this incident. She too calm. A real mother that's, as they like to say in the streets, for the shits, she not going to be calm like this. She'll be up, man, y'all better get up here and get my daughter to a delivery room. No, where the doctor at? Sometimes you got to get in a place where you have an emotional fit. And what I mean by emotional fit, when you cut up to get people attention, to let you know the situation is dire. This mother of this woman should have had an emotional fit right here, an emotional predicament right here, in order to get this woman out of this waiting room of 30 minutes so she could get to the delivery room and properly deliver her child. You got this damn Edomite over here, don't care. Like I said, not concerned about the pain that this woman in, and all this pain, the excruciating pain that she in. It sounded like she was giving birth to a monster. How she was screaming and carrying on.
I bet y'all listen next time.
Look at her. This is crazy.
When you found out you was delivering at this hospital, your ass should have changed doctors. Everybody say how they treat people here.
This black woman got up here and said that she been knew that they were going to take away the professionalism of nursing because of the fact of who they were giving the nursing degrees to. Now, all the nurses in her comments is over here acting surprised, acting like, girl, what is you even talking about? When, in fact, all we see is nurses being rude to patients. Those two black women that was also pregnant, that y'all, which one of them you kicked out the hospital and she ended up having her baby. The other one,
and I might do a video on that. My baby sent me that video talking about a woman had what she just mentioned was kicked out of the hospital. As soon as she was kicked out of the hospital, she have a baby. This is why I tell you women, man, especially you guys, we have to tell our children, we have to start encouraging our children to go into the medical field, going into the technology field. Like I said, and I have to reiterate this because for whatever reason in the so-called black community, we think the only way to be successful is to be a rapper, to be a ball player, to go to the NFL, or to be an actor. We got to stop this. We need to rebrand our mind. We need to reprogram our mind to think different. You know, our people used to be skillful people, full of wisdom, huh? But now we done got to the place all we think about is entertainment. And entertainment got our people docile, sedated.
the nurse was at the computer and she was doing all her processing, the black woman's pregnancy processing, and whole time she had such a disregard and negligence towards her and her pregnancy, knowing she was in labor. And so
that's why I keep telling y'all time and time again, like she just pointed out, the lady had a disregard towards her pain and pregnancy. What make you think your enemies, your oppressors, is going to take what you dealing with more serious than you? This is what we got to stop, man. We are dealing with some brute beasts the scriptures talk about. We are dealing with some demons. And you never should be expecting a demon to do right by you at all.
we see these things, we always see nurses always being rude to patients, and y'all want to sit here and act like y'all surprised? Maybe it's about fucking.
And let me say this. It's not just these Edomite nurses. I done been in a hospital where you so-called black sisters, you some of the most nastiest people in the hospital. So it just ain't them, you know? Let's be real.
Because some of y'all don't care about the field that y'all in. Y'all just care about the pay and act like, oh, I need to complain about the pay because the aesthetic is not where I want it to be. When the whole time it's not an aesthetic. You're taking care of people.
I knew nursing was going to stop being professional. I seen it coming when I started seeing the type of people who were getting nursing degrees and the type of people they were allowing to get licensed to become nurses. It's the ones who's in the club every weekend, who's in these toxic relationships, and just by me working in the hospital and seeing these type of individuals that were nurses, and then seeing social medias with them twerking.
And she's right. She's right. And I don't know if this was the woman that was having a baby, but anyway, what she's saying, she's right. And unfortunately, I hate to say this, and I know some of you guys are going to get mad at me, but when you look into the medical field and see all these nurses, no matter what color it is, they all tend to be 304s. They just handing out nursing degrees to, 304s at the end of the day, hoes, harlots, right? And you can't expect a harlot to tend to somebody righteously. No, they too busy thinking about, the club, going partying, what the next, thing to do. And one guy, he did a video, he was talking about how no matter if they marry or not, they are the worst ones. All the doctors sleeping with the nurses sleeping with the doctors, and then nurses sleeping with the other male. It's just one big mess. It's just like a college campus. And you when I see people talking about, man, I want to be a nurse, and them, I know a lot of you about to get mad at me. I don't understand how a man want to be a nurse, man. Something wrong between your two ears, man. A doctor, yes, a doctor. But when you go, I just read to your scripture. When you go read about the midwives, the scripture said it was women.
Got their asses all out and
You got
tits all
people.
out and stuff.
I'm gonna let the video play. You got people. You go, what you want to be? I want to be an OB white. What else we talking about? You a man, man. Be a man.
It's just like, yeah, something's coming. There's about to be a shift when I started seeing that. So I'm not shocked at all. I'm not shocked.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor as due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem HaKakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. New is in the gospel, brother, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. It says, you are in trouble, Eve. All right. Video come from, and this went viral. This lady was given in labor.
And he said it went viral. You know, don't you know there's many cases like this? Many cases. Many cases. There's cases that's worse than this, even though he said this went viral. You know how many cases that could be going viral right now where women done been treated worse than this? Huh? This is nothing new. There's nothing new underneath the sun.
And I can't tell if this is an Edomite woman or light skinned. She might be an Edomite. I don't know. But you can see the total disregard she had for this Keisha, for this black woman.
He said he can't tell. She look like judging by her head and judge hands and judging by her makeup. It got to be an Edomite woman, the way she built.
Because see, the time now is that people was literally turning their back on Eve because, I mean, this is the time. And you notice with her and the serpent, they came up simultaneously because when Esau came back into power, over a course of time, he's given Eve certain accolades and power and certain things of that nature.
And he's telling the truth. He's telling the truth. That's why I like listening to him, man. He know what he be talking about. Just like Eve was in the garden with the serpent, he's right. When the Edomite got back into power, especially during the Renaissance, and start putting everything in place that he wanted to put in place, guess who else he used? Eve, just like he used Eve in the garden. And a lot of the sisters fell victim to this. They think feminism was all about them. Feminism wasn't about them. Feminism was about the Edomite woman rising up against her man. But the difference between the Edomite woman and the so-called black woman is that after the Edomite woman got what they wanted, and which was respect, they went back home. They went back home to their man. Huh? The so-called black woman, she keep going on with feminism. That's why when you look at statistics and you look at the people that's married according to the Babylonian system, the matrix system with the Edomite people, all the women, a vast majority, go check me out, go fact check me, a vast majority of the Edomite women that's married, guess what they say they are? They are conservative. That's the difference. They're conservative, right? And the ones that tend not to be married, the first thing they holler is they are liberal. But when you look at these sisters, I hate to put it like this, I know a lot of you going to get mad at me. The average so-called black woman, she may not come out and say it, but the average black woman, the modern day black woman, she's a liberal. She got liberal views, which stem from the root of feminism, which go back to the root of who? Satanism.
To become rebellious.
And let me grab a
against our man.
scripture before I let him cook some more to prove to you. Now watch this, because I don't like to really, I think it's over here in Jeremiah chapter 31. Let's see where it's talking about what happened. And this has played a big part in where we at right now. Listen to what the scripture says. How long would thou go about, O thou backsliding? What did it say? Backsliding who? It didn't say man. It didn't say backsliding father or son or grandfather. It said backsliding daughter. Watch this. For Yahweh had created a new thing in the earth. A woman should compass a man. And this was done when Edomites came in power. They put the so-called black woman above the black man. And this is why our community is full of chaos, right? And you keep perpetuating this chaotic type of situation that we're dealing with, because listen, behind every rebellious woman, I want y'all to pay attention to me. I'm giving you what the book tell you. Behind every rebellious, behind every demon, behind every devilish woman is a weak ass man.
See, as Esau is declining and he's losing his power, his sidekick, she's losing her power right along with him. And this is why we've been saying what we've been saying to you black women about submitting and humbling down and getting yourself a man and being in subjection to that man, because once shit hits the fan, you're not going to have any protection. Okay, our women are the only women on the planet Earth that scream, I don't need a man. You don't hear the so-called white woman saying that. Either my woman don't be saying no bullshit like that. I don't need a man. That be you fucking black bitches, man.
Now, there is a few Edomite women out here do say that. And like I said, to point out again, them are the liberal women. But for the most part, you don't hear them saying that. And you definitely ain't going to hear no Arab or Arab woman saying that. You definitely ain't going to hear no Indian woman saying that, right? But you sure enough hear a lot of sisters saying that. And I just did a video not too long ago explaining to you why white women win more than the so-called black women. Go check it out. And this comes down to this dynamic, because they are being raised this way by their mothers. From their mothers. Matter of fact, let me see if I can grab that scripture where it said, like your mother, so is the daughter. I think it's either Ezekiel chapter 16 or chapter 23. Let me see. Yeah. You see it right here? You see it? Verse 44. Behold, you think these just come from these rappers? These rappers, man, they don't know shit, man. They quote stuff. They hear something from the Bible and they put it in their son, but they don't quote it right. But listen to what the scripture says. Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 44. Behold, everyone that use Proverbs just use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter. Okay? That popular son said she get it from her mama. It was already in the Bible. I tell you, everything that pertains to life is in the Bible. Okay? It said, thou art thy mother's daughter. Watch what it goes on to say. That loaf her husband. You see that? The scripture saying daughters learn how to have this type of wicked mindset against men because they get it from her mother. They said they watched their mother loaf their husband, be disrespectful towards her husband, to be impotent against their husband. So these daughters learn the same behavior. It's right here in the scripture. Thou art thy mother's daughter that loaf her husband and her children, and thou art the sister of thy sister which loathes their husband. And see, it just become a cycle repeated of chaos, rebellion, and demonic activity. That's all it is.
You Native American women, I don't need a man. And mainly Keisha, because even a Hispanic woman, to some degree, she knows that she needs her man. But nonetheless, you don't hear her spewing it out like religion, like Keisha. This is why the Most High is bringing judgment upon you. She was going into the nursing field. And also, I was looking this up. I looked at a video yesterday, and it was going into how these women were being laid off in the nursing field left and right. And Trump don't even acknowledge that shit as a professional license anymore. He don't even acknowledge, you know how a bitch be like, oh, well, yeah, I have a nursing degree. I have this and this and that. Trump don't acknowledge that shit no more. All right, because nursing field is another way for you to cut corners and become these so-called high pristine women with this high and mighty ass attitude. And most of you women in the nursing field, if not 99% of you, a bunch of whores.
See, I just said it.
Just be real. Some of the biggest whores I done never come across were nurses.
And this is a known fact. This is a known fact everywhere. But, you know, it's funny that he said that this is happening, because I used to, back in the day, when I got into the truth, I used to say something of the same magnitude that, you know, eventually a lot of these so-called prestigious jobs that people believe to be, they are going to be deleted. They're going to be obsolete. Okay. But I didn't know that Donald Trump is, you know, going on air saying that being a nurse is irrelevant. So that lets you know that a lot of nurses is going to be, or should I say proper English, are going to be laid off. I can see that happening.
The aesthetic, the money, especially the traveling nurses, and they have a certain pride that comes along with it. And you heard what the lady said. She said, look, the thing of it is, he said, with traveling nurses or with nurses, you know, they twerk, they're showing their bodies off, and they have this
But this I say, even though they all 3 or 4s and they're all whores, if you're smart, if you listen to me, if you're listening to the sound of my voice, I'm about to give you game. The only way that you're going to be able to secure a job with all these cutbacks that he's talking about is coming from Donald Trump, with all of these layoffs, the only way for you to secure the job, you're going to have to be a traveling nurse. It's going to be some people going to say, I don't want to travel. Hey, you laid off. But so get used to it. If you got a man, you better set in your mind. Them going to be the ones that's going to be able to have somewhat security as being a nurse. You're going to have to be a traveling nurse, because when they start laying off these nurses, as he pointed out, they already doing, I guess, according to Donald Trump, they already doing, when they start laying them off, you're going to have to travel, because you're going to have to travel from this state to that state. You're going to have to go over there for a little while and help that branch out or that medical office out. You're going to have to go. So you better make up your mind. Say, if I want to stay a nurse, I'm going to have to be a traveling nurse.
I admire the attitude that they are untouchable, because, you know, being a nurse is essentially an important job function, because, you know, you can determine whether a person lives or not. You know, but
the nurses just decided that.
Yeah, and they quitting and being fired because a lot of them are realizing that it's not worth it too. A lot of them feel like they're overworked. But majority of the time, you nurses, man, you just get the job for the accolades, so you can ride around in a BMW, go to the club every weekend, you know, have your hair done, your eyelashes, and jump man to man. Same thing with the military. A lot of times women go to the military, they ain't nothing but booty for the men. You know, you go in there, you torch your little, you show your little fatigue, you twerk. You know, you may get you a nice little 2-bedroom apartment and drive a Hellcat, and all of a sudden now you've made it. Not a
Hellcat. Let me say this: a woman driving a Hellcat is a red flag, guys. A woman driving a Hellcat is a red flag. Just like, I know some of you about to get mad at me, a woman that drives a motorcycle is a red flag. And some of you guys that have dealt with a lot of women, you know what I'm talking about. I don't need to go into it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Problems to come to you tenfold. You know, this is why nobody's coming to your rescue, man. As we saw in the video, they threw her ass out. You know, they let her give birth to a child in a waiting room, bro. Like, when you get ready to have birth, bro, get into or you're in labor, and they supposed to take you back, put you in the bed, make you comfortable, get you whatever medications you need, epidurals, and, you know, henceforth come the baby. But they made her ass wait, and she gave birth to the baby in the waiting room because they don't give a fuck. The Most High is just tired of your shit, you know? It's the book of Jeremiah 31:22. It says, how long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter?
You see the verse that he went to? You see the verse he went to? Huh? Like I said, I didn't watch this video. You can go search. I could put it on my screen. I ain't watched this video. You look at my history. Right? But it popped up on my feed. I said, let me talk about it. It's the Shabbat. I talk about, I don't know, what route are you going to go? But I'm going to do my reaction according to the scripture. But, hey, he's on point. He going to the same scriptures.
It's talking about the Israelites, but talking about you women as well. Because you women, you have been puffed up with an exceptional amount of pride to the point it's scary, man.
Yeah, let me grab that scripture right quick while you talk about pride, because the Most High, he deal with this all in Isaiah. All in Isaiah. Watch it. Excuse me. Listen, verse 16 of Isaiah chapter 3. Moreover, Yahweh said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty. You see that? Haughty. And walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go. and making a tingling with their feet. Now let's break down this word haughty. You see that? Huh? Be high, exalted, haughty, cheerful, make high. To be high, exalted, haughty, cheerful, to make high. Let's go down here. To be high. See, a lot of these women, they don't even need to be smoking weed or nothing. They're already high. Their attitude, their pride make them high, man. And when you dealing with somebody that got high off some type of drug, substance, they're out of their mind. And it's showing you that a lot of these women, because of pride, because of haughtiness, they are out of their mind. And that's why in my book, go check out my book, Alpha Diaries, the keys to being a self-sufficient man and leader within a relationship. All right. Go check it out. I'll probably put it in the link down below. But anyway, in my book, I tell you, man, don't even consider impregnating some of these women, man. You're going to have a life full of misery dealing with these demons. They haughty. Lift up itself. Arrogance. Never seen so many arrogant women, man. They just arrogant. All right, let's bring up this. I want y'all to see this. I want y'all to really see wonton. Watch what wonton mean. Be seductive, glances, ogle, blink, wink, paint the eyes with a red color, use facial makeup. Well, I ain't know makeup was in Bible. Demon, I've been telling you makeup is in the Bible. That's why they need to stop wearing it. Matter of fact, I got a video line up, right? And this woman, I think she said it was either 9 years, 11 years, whatever the case may be, how many years it was. She says she been working in the aesthetic industry for a certain amount of years, and she said she had never put that shit back on. Well, listen, I'm gonna have to do that video because some of you sisters, you don't pay attention, you know, unless somebody else tell you, then you want to listen. But yeah, these women, this is why they wear makeup. Don't let no demon tell you they wear makeup so they can feel good about it. No, you wearing makeup so you can seduce somebody. These people are in delusion. They have diluted their damn brain cells. They can tell themselves something all they want. Well, I'm putting it on so I can look cute. No. You is a demon. You're lying. You're lying to yourself because makeup was used to seduce men. So no matter if you're trying to tell yourself otherwise, if you put it on, you're putting it on to seduce somebody else. You demon. It said, want your eyes. Listen. Look around. Done by wanting impotent women. All right. Matter of fact, let's go a little deeper. Let's go a little deeper. Because I want you to look at this. Make seductive glance up. Blink, wink, paint the eyes with red color. Use facial makeup to look at with amorous intentions. Nod or wink, nod. Okay? So when you put that stuff on, man, when you're on one-time women, all you telling guys is come on over here and get this box. That's all I'm good for. I know a lot of you ain't gonna like that, but women that wear makeup, especially these women that consistently wear makeup, they only telling the world, they only telling the demons that know this truth, okay? That they only good for is to run through them and run their numbers up. That's all they good for. All right, let's shut this down. I know it's tight, but it's right. Man, I know a lot of women, let me say this, I know a lot of women don't understand it, but if you hear this, stop doing it. Stop doing it. It said walking and mincing as they go and making a tingling with their feet. Let's bring this up. To be brisk or nimble and walking, to walk with short steps. Use of the walking of children. Y'all get mad at me when I say a woman ain't nothing but a child, a big child with some big breasts. They are childlike, man. An arrogant woman, a haughty woman, a prideful woman, she ain't nothing but a child. Okay? But let me grab this one also. We come back. Or should I say we go back to the video? Let's see. I think it's around the 8th verse. Let's see. Verse 9. Rise ye up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. So you see the Most High saying these women been careless. Watch what it goes on saying. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall you be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail and the gathering shall come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you, make you barren. This is what the Most High is doing. He's stripping these women, making them barren. That's why nothing ever happened out happen in the way they want it to happen for them, because the Most High this is of the Most High. It's doing is marvelous in our sight. Gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, and for the fruitful vine. So let's go over here. Let's go back to careless. Listen, the word careless means trust, be confident, unsuspecting, to cause, to rely, inspire confidence. So these women, they are confident in themselves. They are confident in their, a lot of their bodies and whatnot. They're confident in their arrogance. And the Most High said, listen, you're careless because your confidence is in the wrong thing. They walking around here proud. They walking around haughty. I don't need no man. I could do bad all by myself. All that Tyler Perry bullshit. Listen, your confidence is in the wrong thing. And now the Most High is shaking your foundation that's been built on sand. Listen. Look at the word rise up. Rise, to stand up, come to fruition, endure, belong, stay fixed. They need to rise up out of that bullshit they in. Okay? Look at the word ease. All right, let's come out of this. Okay. Look up the word ease. Careless, did I tell you? Self-confident. Okay? That's why the scriptures say they void of wisdom, man. Liken them to an ostrich. These women is nothing but an ostrich. And I can go grab that over to Job 39, but let me get back to the video.
I did a video yesterday when the weird looking Edomite dude blocked the Jake chick in, and she was literally arguing with this dude, and she may have had a gun on her, but nonetheless, the boldness of these women to confront men the way that they confront men is scary, okay, because they don't expect the repercussions. The video after that, it was Edomite accused a Jake chick of basically rear-ending him or something and hitting him, and then they was in the parking lot of the gas station. Then he spit at her, and she spit back at him, and then she tried to run up and hit him, and he just slapped her around. So, that's a sense of pride. Okay, you can't beat a man that's twice your size, twice your weight, twice your height. But it says, "O thou backsliding daughter," it says, "For the Lord have created a new thing in the earth, a woman shall compass a man." Yeah, and this is the reason why women have these high jobs, these positions in society, even though they still significantly earn less than men.
Go look at statistics. They still earn less than men. But when they talk about should compass a man, it's talking about Edomite, as I said again, elevated the black woman over the man. And you seen this really coming to fruition back in 1964 when Lyndon B. Johnson, I think in 1964, he enacted the Society Incentive Program, the Man Out policy. This is when they really began to have power over men, okay, and began to have an impotent eye, be disrespectful, not want to be submissive, not want to be supportive, because Edomite put everything in place through this government to help a woman compass a man. But now the government, Satan, is turning his back on Eve, and this is why you're seeing this.
Okay, because women, they still earn relatively less than us. But you got some women out here that's taking home 60, 70, 80K, 100K a year, and you can't tell them shit. I know my brother's auntie, she was the vice president of a bank. And she went to college and got degrees and all this other shit, valedictorian and all this and that. But yeah, she was in a marriage with our child's father for like a couple years, and then he left the bitch. Straight up, he left her. You know why? Because her attitude, she was rubbing elbows with Esau. Pretty sure she was doing favors for him and committing adultery.
Let me say this. It's this, and I agree with him. I understand it, but I'm going to say this. This is not all women. This are not all sisters. My wife, she got a degree, a high learning degree. Okay, I'm not going to go into all of it. So I'm not going to say this is the case for all women. Some women, fellas, this is why I tell you. Yeah, okay? Knowledge and wisdom is an aphrodisiac. See, a lot of you guys, you don't have knowledge. You don't have wisdom. So when you're dealing with these women who got, for lack of better words, higher education, they're not going to respect you because you ain't did your part to get knowledge and wisdom. I'm not saying you got to go to a college or articulate at some type of university to get some knowledge or to be able to reel your woman in because she got a degree. No, that ain't what I'm saying. You got to have wisdom, knowledge, and the best knowledge and wisdom for you to have is this scripture. Okay? Now, The women out here that got degrees and disrespecting their God because they got degrees, they wrong. Not only they wrong, but they on their way to the lake of fire because you can't bypass 1 Corinthians chapter 11 at all. Okay? Your degree don't mean shit. But all at the same time, I do understand why they are that way with a lot of you guys, because at least if you don't got a degree, have some wisdom and some knowledge, man. The scripture even said, man, let me go grab this scripture. All right, watch this. We still in Isaiah. You see this? Isaiah 33 verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy times and the strength of salvation. Okay? If she got a degree, she still should be in a position where she able to learn something from you, man. These women can't learn shit from you guys because you don't want to study the scripture. You don't want to pick up no book. Even the scripture say, buy the truth and sell it not, man. And you be intimidated. Oh, she got a doctor's degree. Oh, she got a master's degree. She ain't on my level. Listen, ain't no woman got a doctor. I don't care how smart they think it. Ain't no woman on the top of the most high green earth that got a doctor's degree is going to be more wise than me because I'm standing upon the scriptures, okay? I don't care how many degrees they got. That degree don't mean shit when it comes to the Most High. But you guys, you don't know the Bible. You don't know the Holy Scripture. So when you see a woman, she got a degree, this and that, man, you're weak. All right? And that's why I say I'm not going to tag this because my woman, she got a higher learning degree. But she ain't like these other bitches out here. But all at the same time, my woman know the scriptures because I sit down and teach her the scripture. Okay? Or here you go, he being a misogynist or he being male chauvinist. No. Let's go to the Bible. Fellas, you supposed to teach your woman the Bible. But how you going to teach them the Bible? You don't know the Bible. And then you don't even want to sit underneath somebody like the prophet to the nation that know the Bible that can help you get in a position where you teach. Man, this wine got me a little... The scripture said, drink a little wine for your stomach's sake. All right, over there in 1 Timothy chapter 5. Let me go there. I know I may be digressing, okay? But listen, 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 23. Drink no longer water, but use a little wine for thy stomach's sake. And I feel it working on my stomach, man. Y'all got to bear with me. But where I was going, man. Oh, I was going to 1 Corinthians chapter 14. All right, y'all got to excuse me for this. Hey, what's burning in there? Man. All right, listen. Man. Oh, my goodness, man. Have mercy. Oh, man. All right. Let me get back serious. All right. All right, let's read this. Verse 26 of 1 Corinthians chapter 14, because I told you, you're supposed to teach you supposed to be teaching your woman the Bible. You got your woman going to the church and getting taught by the pastor and wonder why she got an affinity towards the pastor and want to be laid by the pastor because your pastor is teaching your woman. You're supposed to teach your woman more than the pastor in the church. Watch this. How is it then, brethren? When you come together, every one of you have a psalm, have a doctrine, have a tongue, have a revelation, have an interpretation. Let all things be done unto edifying. My bad. Somebody was texting me. If any man speak in an unknown tongue, let it be by two, or at the most by three, and that by course let one interpret. But if there be no interpreter, let him keep silence in the church. So you don't be doing all that bird talking in the church. There ain't no interpretation. Let him speak to himself in Yahweh. Let the prophet speak 2 or 3, and let the other judge. If anything be revealed to another that sitteth by, let the first hold his peace. For you all may prophesy one by one, that you all may learn, and all may be comforted. And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets. For Yahweh is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. You see that? He's not the author of confusion, but of peace. Let your woman keep silence in the church. For it's not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be unobedient, as also said the law. If they will learn, what? But if they will learn, But if they will learn, when? If they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home. Y'all think I just be saying stuff out my mind? No, you supposed to be the main person in your woman's life teaching them the Bible. But how you gonna teach them the Bible if you don't know the Bible? If they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home. You don't need no degree to be able to teach your woman nothing, huh? Well, let's go back here so I can shut this down because this is why I got my stomach, boy.
This is supposed to be a holier than thou Christian woman. You know, which women don't believe in that church shit, man. Okay, they go there to get hit on by other dudes. But anyway,
church is the new
says,
club
without go about without backsliding daughter. It's for the Lord have created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. Yeah. And when you go into compass, it goes into circle around. But in this case, you know, the women, they got up higher than a so-called black man or than a Jake man because Esau has elevated them there. So when they spew this nonsense about we're the most educated and we got the most degrees, that's a bullshit lie. You're the most enrolled. You have the highest dropout rates.
And I tell women that all the time, man. I don't want no so-called black woman coming to me saying we the most educated. No, you're not. You're not the most educated. You are the most enrolled demographic. It's a different. I think them, you know. I think the Indians they got the most degrees, or they at the top, or they on their way. I think the Edomites got the most at the hill, but I think the Indians, maybe the Asians is closely behind. But let's fact check that. I'm gonna shut it down after this. Go check the rest of this message out. I'm gonna listen to it because my stomach is turning right now. You see that? Huh? You think I just be talking, man? Listen to me, man. Don't let these sisters be lying to you. Ooh. By percentage, Asian adults had the most degrees with 66.5% of those aged 25 and older holding an associate degree or higher. However, black women are often cited as the most educated group in the U.S. due to their high rates of degree attainment, particularly in bachelor and master program, and earning more degrees than black men. You see that? Huh? So they let you know this stuff is a lie. Asians. All right? So don't be listening to these people. Ooh. All right, but I go back to it and let me try to finish it. Because I can just listen to it since it's already up.
Male counterpart, Jake don't go no fucking college, man. Like, that shit ain't for niggas. Jake don't fucking go to college unless his mama make him or unless he's going on a scholarship. But I've never known a Jake that went and graduated from college to go get a goddamn traditional job, bro. Okay, if you see a Jake in college, he's going to be a doctor, a lawyer in law school. He's probably going to play sports. But Jake ain't going no fucking college to be no goddamn no.
And when he talk about Jake, he's talking about Jake at large. He talking about so-called black man at large because some of us do. Like I said, I went and got an MBA, and finance was a concentration in finance and whatnot. And you know, as I often say, college don't do nothing but show these corporations that you was willing to put in a little more work just to get a position. But for the most part, these college degrees, especially in this day and time with all the layoffs and with all the people getting fired and whatnot, degrees don't mean shit, man. You about to see a lot of nepotism going on. Okay, that's why I'm not mad at LeBron James and nepotism with Bronny James. And I don't misunderstand me. I know somebody else out there should have got that spot, but I'm speaking on the fact of he was able to do nepotism and get him in. And we need more people that's in some type of position to help other people get in. But yeah, some people do go to college to get a degree. I got a traditional. I don't know if that's a traditional degree, MBA, but whatever with finance, right? I'm able to crunch them numbers. I'm good with them numbers now. All right.
Engineer tech, man, or no crane operator. You know, those are trades you can get outside of college. You go to a vocational school and get that type of trade. You ain't got no fucking 4-year university for what?
Hey,
you know,
Manny,
I don't need to go to college and learn how to operate a crane making $200 an hour. I don't need that. You know, but you women, you go to college at a phenomenal rate because that's what the white man told you to do. Go to college. And when you go to college, you become the biggest whores, man. And then you graduate, you're about 24, 25. You want to have a kid or 3, or, you know, you work in your career, you know, high and mighty. And by the time you hit your early 30s, you stressed out. Okay, I know this bimbo I work with that.
And You know, these women, and I tell you guys, man, don't be sending these women off to the college. When they get to the college, man, they do all type of manner of evil. We don't know why, because when me and my brother was in college, we was there with them, man.
Do the same thing. A little young bitch. She's like 29 years old. She went to college and shit like that. Graduated. Now she's
See,
working.
I often moved in silence. Let me say this: I often moved in silence, and it was this. One of my homeboys back from Muskegon, he used to say, "Man, you don't get girls, you don't get girls." I used to laugh at him. And then he saw me out one time, then he saw and heard who I was banging. Then he came back to me like, "Man, I see you be on the low. You move in secret." A real guy don't got to be out here bragging about how many girls he get, right? Bragging about how many girls he busting down and taking it down to him. I was often moving in silent. And that's how we was in college and in high school. A lot of them guys, they be like, you going to the party? You going to the party? And what they didn't know, man, while they was at the party, man, you know, I ain't about to tell on myself. Go ahead.
Right chick, you know, but she's more on the Edomite side of Issachar. Issachar, if it make any sense. You know, grew up in Nebraska and shit. And, you know, it's a lot of Edomites out there. There's a lot of Gadites out there too. But, you know, when they grew up under Esau, then they have this high and mighty attitude because she was complaining that she doesn't feel like she's Mexican enough and all this other shit. Yeah, well, that's on you. You know, you chose that. You chose to be hand in hand with the serpent. So she gets a job. She gets like 2 promotions.
But anyway, go listen to the rest. I'm about to stop the video.
And she's got 2 promotions.
And listen to the rest of it. Right, I need to put something on my stomach. All right. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button for your boy. Share the video. Get this truth out. Okay. I put a title on the video for whatever the case. I guess I could use this same title. But whatever. All right. Peace.